Hey hustlers, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Jasmine, aka Jazz Hustles, and I am a 21-year-old Amazon seller. I started selling in the beginning of January 2023 and I'm still going at it. As you guys can tell by today's title, this was a highly requested video and I've been contemplating whether or not I wanted to start talking about wholesale, just because most of you guys know I just got into wholesale not that long ago. So I want to make sure that all my facts are straight, making sure that I know what I'm saying so then I can tell you guys as well. But today is the day. I'm going to be giving you guys some wholesale tips if you are planning on scaling your business from Amazon Arbitrage to Amazon Wholesale. So if you haven't already, make sure to like it up, subscribe for more, and push that little bell so you're notified whenever I post. Okay, so let's just talk about the basics first. What is the difference? Let's say you're a beginner seller, you don't really know what wholesale is. Basically, arbitrage is what I have done and what I've been teaching you guys. If you haven't seen my previous videos, then you are gonna wanna check those out after this one. But basically, Amazon arbitrage is when you're going into retail stores and also shopping online, so then you can find deals that you can resell on Amazon. But it's more individual products. You don't deal with as much replenishables with Amazon arbitrage. You're like always trying to find the newest winning product and you're basically just hunting for deals every single day. Of course, it's more work doing Amazon arbitrage rather than wholesale, just because with wholesale, you're focusing on actual replenishable products that you can sell year round and you can just keep restocking on, kind of like how you guys see me sell deodorants and soaps and shampoos. I sell a lot of that year round as of 2024. So that's basically the difference. Now with wholesale, there is a little bit more documents required to start. With Amazon arbitrage, you do not have to have an LLC, you don't have to have an EIN or a reseller certificate, but I did decide to get mine after I surpassed 10K in monthly sales, and that's what I recommend for you guys as well. But for wholesale, you do have to have all of that in the beginning. So with wholesale, instead of buying from retail stores and online shops, you're going to be contacting distributors and you're going to be buying in bulk. You're going to be opening up wholesale accounts and different things like that. I feel like wholesale is more of a long-term business model. You can make a lot of money with Amazon arbitrage, but the end goal, I feel like, is definitely getting into wholesale. Now, keep in mind, you aren't going to want to jump into wholesale straight away just because you have that extra capital. You still need to make sure you know what you're doing, how to source for products, how to calculate Amazon fees, and certain things like that. So basically, wholesale is more about building relationships with distributors rather than trying to find the newest winning product every single day like arbitrage. Now, the first thing that you guys need to keep in mind is that you need to be buying from authorized distributors. Now, I actually went through a account deactivation just because I was not buying from authorized distributors, and that's my learning lesson. But basically, you can't just buy from anyone just because they have the product. Like, wholesale is like a whole nother game. I feel like with wholesale, Amazon gets a little more strict because they want to make sure you're buying from authorized people. Now with arbitrage, you don't really have to deal with too much violations and stuff like that because you're buying from big retail stores and online stores like Target, Walmart, and Amazon knows about those things. They already know that they're basically authorized. But with wholesale, it's a little harder because you're buying from distributors, local distributors that are in different states and so forth. So you just need to make sure that they are authorized distributors. You don't really want to deal with the middlemen that don't actually have real permission to sell products. Another thing you can do is go straight to the brand and try and open up a wholesale account with them. The thing with going straight to a brand, it's a little harder just because if you are just a little seller and you want to buy let's say a total of 100 units, most likely that brand is going to want you to buy truckloads rather than just the little petty orders. So that's why I have just been dealing with authorized distributors rather than the brand itself, but you can go that route as well. Just keep in mind, it does require more capital, and the MOQ, which is the minimum order quantity limit, is usually way higher if you're contacting the brand directly. Now, how are you able to find distributors? Well, my main way that I use is the Google search method. It's a really simple method. Basically, you're just going to go on Google and search up, let's say that you want to start selling grocery items, wholesale. Look up grocery, wholesale near me. You can do grocery suppliers in my area and basically just put your area. So for me, I'll just be like grocery distributors in Miami, Florida, and so forth. I recommend start locally just because when you do deal with wholesalers, new wholesalers, and you're new within the business, you can go to their warehouse, you can meet up with them. Remember, wholesale is all about relationship. So it's always way better being like starting off local rather than just looking at different states. I feel like with local, you can definitely build that relationship stronger. You can meet them at, their office. There's also people who like, they end up building like such a great bond or relationship with their wholesale suppliers that they take them out to eat and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, you need to make sure that you have a strong bond with them because they're the ones that are going to be giving you their pricing. And with retail, online stores like Walmart, if I walk in Walmart right now, I can't negotiate with their prices. With distributors, you can negotiate with their prices, but you have to keep in mind that you shouldn't just be asking for the cheapest prices automatically because they need to make sure that you're actually serious about them. Eventually, when you start building more and more like bonds with your distributors, they are going to eventually give you even more discounts. And I definitely found that out for myself. It's kind of like discouraging in the beginning when you are looking for wholesale suppliers, because when you are looking for like wholesale suppliers and you find the one, their pricing might not seem the best, and sometimes you have to break even the first few orders, and then eventually once they see that you start ordering from them more and just more and more units, more in bulk, then eventually they are going to give you that good pricing where you actually are pretty profitable. Like I said, break even is just like you not making any money, but you're not losing any money either. So sometimes you are going to want to do that. I know a lot of people are not going to want to do that. They're just going to want to get the cheapest prices automatically. But you have to keep in mind, this is like an actual business. You want to build that relationship. And that's why with, arbitrage, you don't have to think of any of this stuff. You don't really have to build relationships. It is great to try and build relationships with like managers in certain stores, like how I did with like Nike Outlet. But with wholesale, it's all about relationships. But back to how to find the distributors, I mainly use the Google search method. Like I said, you can also use other directories on the internet. One that I could recommend you guys is Wholesale Central. I've used them just quite a bit, but you can do your own research. Now, when you find these distributors, you need to make sure that you're contacting them through phone and email. Most of the times, people don't succeed within wholesale because they don't want to hop on the phone. Most people just want to leave the email, and I'm telling you guys, all these distributors, they receive emails like crazy and they most likely will not get back to you. So if you're really serious and you want them to think that you're really serious, you need to make sure to be calling every single one of them. So what I recommend you do is whenever you are searching them up, get a Google sheet and put at least like 50 to 100 different distributors on that list. In that Google sheet, you can just include their, business name, their contact info, their address, what they sell and stuff like that. And then you can start calling each one of them. And that's what we had to do, me and my partner. We actually started looking into wholesale and started actually doing the wholesale work in the beginning of January 2024, right? But we didn't start finding our profitable authorized distributors until like half of the year, literally. So that's why when someone asks me like, can you give me your distributors or where did you buy this in wholesale? I am not telling you because it takes a lot of time, a lot of work to find those authorized profitable distributors. So you just have to do the work. That's kind of like asking me what products am I selling right now? I'm not going to tell you. I mean, it's going to tank, it's going to get saturated and so forth. So keep that in mind, guys. Don't ask me. I just know that I'm going to get a few questions in the comments that is like, can you give me a list of your distributors or I'll pay you for a wholesale list? Like, no. Another thing, I talked about this in the last video. Make sure that you're not going the easy way out by buying wholesale distributor lists from other people online. Most likely, they will not be giving you their actual distributors that they work with. They're probably going to give you some distributors they don't even work with, honestly. Some just ass distributors that they don't even work with. So just keep that in mind. I feel like most people get scammed these days too because they do want to take the easy way out. It's like you kind of wanted to get scammed. It's like, come on now. And I'm not saying that like every single thing online is like, a scam, because of course, I have my little products, my little ebooks and courses and mentorships here and there, but like try it yourself first. If you seem like you just need more help, then of course you can start looking into things, but make sure you do your due diligence whenever you are investing in someone's like product to learn more about the business. Just keep that in mind, guys. Keep that in mind. So once you contact all those distributors, I'm telling you, you're gonna want to call them like every single day. If people who don't answer, you are going to want to contact the day after. Put a note on the Google Sheet, contact them next week or in a month from now. Another thing to keep in mind too, you don't want to come off as an Amazon seller. You want to make sure that you're coming off more of like a distributor, because distributors do work with other distributors, but they most likely are going to ask you, why are you buying from us? Like, why do you want to open up a wholesale account with us? Automatic beginner red flag is to say that I sell on Amazon, I'm an Amazon seller. Most distributors don't like dealing with Amazon sellers. Trust me on this. So just keep that in mind. Come up as a distributor, and if they ask you, you don't necessarily have to lie. You can just say that 10% of your sales and your business is from Amazon, e-commerce, Walmart, or whatever, just to get rid of your dead stock or inventory. That's all you need to say. They're not going to push you too much, but just keep that in mind. They are going to ask you those questions, and you need to make sure that you're not coming off as just an Amazon seller, okay? What I say is that I'm a distributor and I distribute to local markets, mom and pop shops in my personal area. That's what I say. You guys can say that too, but kind of switch it up. Think of different reasons and different little white lies to, get that wholesale account open. So once you open up the wholesale account with them successfully, you are going to want to ask them for their catalog. If they don't already give you the catalog, you are going to want to call a sales rep and see what deals they can give you. If there is any like deals that is going on at the moment. Sometimes they do have like end of year deals or the beginning new year deals, just different deals. Just ask them. It doesn't hurt to ask. Also, I think another great tip is that what you should do when you are contacting distributors is, of course, look in their website and see what brands they offer first. And automatically, like if you're contacting them like for the first time, let them know a list of brands that you are ready to buy from them, and literally give them a number of like exactly like a good amount of like how much you want to buy. Like, I want this, I want that, I want this. Usually when sales reps, once they see that email or that call, or once they like hear you on the phone say that, they are going to be automatic, because those sales reps, they make commission from you. And of course, the more money you give them, the more money they make themselves. So just think of it like that. Just like do research beforehand. I do research on that distributor beforehand, and I'm telling you, you can go definitely way far with that. You can get wholesale accounts opened up left and right. Another main tip is to make sure that whenever you are looking through websites of wholesalers and distributors, don't just put anyone on your Google Sheet list to contact. You definitely do just want to filter out the ones that are a no-no. And the ones that are a no-no to me and every other wholesaler is if they include their pricing on the website already. If it's that easy, if it feels that easy, then it's most likely not the way to go. If they already have their pricing on the website, then that's kind of like a red flag. If they're selling generic things, kind of like Alibaba or just generic Dollar Tree things, that's a red flag. Don't even put them on the list. You want to make sure you're actually selling the brand name products. The thing that is similar to arbitrage and wholesale is that you're just selling brand name products, like stuff that is from the stores. So if you see that a wholesale distributor, like if you go on their website and they say they carry brands like Dove, Nestle, Tide, yes, put them on the list. But if they're carrying random ass brands that don't even sell on Amazon, then don't even put them on the list. There's no point of even contacting them, because the stuff that they carry is not the stuff that you're trying to sell. Now, when you do receive their catalog, you are going to want to try and negotiate or ask them if you can buy a certain amount for a lower price. Keep in mind, if it's the first few orders, like I said, you might not be getting the best deals, but eventually, just know in the future, if you keep working with them and keep giving them money and keep giving them orders, they are going to give you the best discounts, okay? So just keep that in mind. It's always negotiable, but just like literally like the one of the distributors that we first looked into, they gave us like a 2% discount like the first order, and I was actually surprised. And it doesn't sound like that much, but you guys already know Amazon is a numbers game, and every single percentage, every single discount counts, okay? It was like a $5,000 order, so it definitely does count, okay? Now, another tip that I want to give you guys is to make sure you're creating an actual business plan. With Amazon Arbitrage, I feel like it's definitely considered a business, but it doesn't really feel like a business, and that's why it's so beginner friendly. It's so easy to get into. But with wholesale, it's a whole nother thing. It's like an actual business. So definitely come out with some form of business plan. Make sure you know exactly how much you want to spend, how much you want to be making, your ROI, and everything like that. Keep in mind, usually your ROI should be a little lower. Of course, you want to aim for the highest ROI, but usually for Amazon Arbitrage, it's 25% ROI and above. For wholesale, it's for me 20% and above. Some people even do 15%. I haven't gone that low, but I do try to stay around the 20%. If it's 18% and it sells a lot of times a month, then I'll do it. But another tip too, whenever you're doing wholesale, most of the time you do have to buy in bulk all the time, and that's why it's always best to not start with wholesale. Always start with Amazon Arbitrage first, just to make sure you know what you're doing when it comes to sourcing for those products and making sure that they're actually going to resell on Amazon. So with Amazon Arbitrage, there is a lot of products that I've sold that only had like 20 estimated sales, 50 estimated sales. With wholesale, you are not going to want to touch any of those slow selling items because you're going to be buying in bulk. That means you need to be looking for products that are in high demand. Usually when I am doing wholesale, I try to look for products that have at least 1,000 plus estimated sales. And with Arbitrage, that seems like a lot, like 1,000 plus, like damn. You come across those 1,000 plus products once in a blue with Arbitrage, but for wholesale, you need to make sure it's like at least 1,000 plus, maybe 500 plus, but it also just depends on the competition, how much people are on the listings and so forth. Another great thing with wholesale is that since you are doing more work and it's less beginner friendly, there's way less competition with wholesale listings. So Amazon Arbitrage, super beginner friendly. You can easily start it and you can easily get into it. And that's why there's a lot of times where people have problems when they hop on a listing and it just gets too saturated and buy box price just goes down. It's not most likely to happen with wholesale products. Usually the product is always steady with wholesale, and that's what you are going to want to look for with buying products wholesale. You have to be making sure that you are actually like checking off every single box when it comes to trying to see if a product is good to resell on Amazon, because there's so much more risk involved with wholesale and you can lose thousands of dollars like I have and others have as well. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, just create a business plan so then you can also avoid wasting money or being stuck with unsold inventory. That's honestly probably like the worst thing ever. I am not stuck with any inventory right now. I have like a few removal orders of deodorants that just someone returned, but I don't get too much. I really don't get too much returns, and that's a great thing also with selling like replenishable products. Like if someone buys deodorant from Amazon, they're most likely going to keep it instead of returning it. Now, of course, you are going to want to know the product that you are selling. It's the same thing with Amazon Arbitrage. You're going to want to do that research. You're going to want to use SellerAmp and Keepa for product analysts. You're just going to want to make sure that everything checks out. If you don't know how to source for profitable products, you need to make sure to study and, look at all of my previous sourcing videos so then you can learn how to. One thing that I know a lot of people tell me, especially beginner sellers, is when they are starting off Amazon Arbitrage and they can't find any profitable products and they spend hours and hours and weeks and months and they don't find any profitable products, they come to me asking if they should just jump into wholesale. And I'm telling you right now, that is not the problem. That is not going to fix your problems. You not knowing how to source correctly is definitely the problem. Sourcing for wholesale and sourcing for arbitrage is basically the same exact thing. So if you think that wholesale is going to fix all of your problems, you are so wrong. If you don't know how to find any profitable products, then that means you shouldn't be getting into wholesale.
Hey hustlers, it's nice to see you guys.
I'm leaving this on video. Editor, leave this on the video. No, don't do anything weird because I'm not trimming it. I sent it to him just like this.
Cut the part of me coming out, the guy with the red shirt.
The guy with the red shirt, that's funny.
Oh.
Nothing. But I think that's all the Amazon tips I have for you today. If you got to the end of this video, comment wholesale down below so I know you're serious about this business. Something that you guys have been waiting for the longest, my tax ebook is finally out. It's finally the beginning of 2025, and if you have been an Amazon seller and you don't know how to do anything with taxes, if you don't know how to do your taxes, if you don't know what to tax write off, you are going to want to make sure to take a look and grab a copy of my tax player ebook, which is going to be linked in my description. If you go into my description as well, you are going to be seeing the Jazz Hustles Approach Complete Amazon FBA Guide if you want a beginner blueprint with Amazon Arbitrage. In that book, I don't talk too much about wholesale, but if you do want to transition into wholesale, then you should definitely look into with my Hustlers Academy mentorship program. There's a full in-depth course on the wholesale business model, and you'll also have access to booking unlimited coaching calls with me and my partner, and we can help you out with your wholesale journey as well. You can apply for my mentorship down below. If you're just looking for a community to chat with other Amazon sellers and have your questions answered along the way, as well as receive 15 to 30 new profitable product leads every single day, and access to group weekly Zoom calls with me and other sellers, then you are going to want to look into my exclusive Hustlers Discord, which is only $55 a month. You can cancel anytime, but I just know you're not going to want to cancel. It's a great Discord, active Discord. Most of the Discords out there are pretty dead in my opinion, so the exclusive Hustlers Discord is definitely one of the best, and I'm not just saying that because it's mine, but you can see the results, you can see the reviews for yourself. Make sure to connect with me more on my Instagram and my TikTok, where I post on those every single day at JASHUSTLES at Jazz Hustles. Try and make sure to not get scammed with those fake TikTok accounts of me. By the way, like I said, it's only at JASHUSTLES. No underscore, no period, no number. That's it. But thank you guys so much for watching. I want to thank all of you guys for following my journey and subscribing to my YouTube channel. I want to say Happy New Year to all those hustlers out there, and let's just make this year 2025 a great year. Thank you, and I'll see you guys next Friday. Peace.